commencing on the 1st day of January 2025 and ending on the 31st day of December 2025.
Thank you. The bill shortly entitled Nevis Appropriation 2025 Bill 2024 has been read a third time and passed into law.
Resolutions.
I recognize the member for Nevis 2.
Madam President, as is customary, at the time of our budget debates, we ordinarily bring resolutions to this Honorable House for the support of the Assembly for borrowing in this situation, borrowing, Madam President, that it has already occurred. These are, if you will, a requirement that annually we renew the resolution from the Nevis Island Assembly. And so I rise to move a resolution number 5 of 2024, a resolution of the Nevis Island Administration, the administration acting through its cabinet ministers and the ministers. Whereas the cabinet minister of the Nevis Island Administration, in its meeting on the 20th day of November, passed, adopted, and consented to the following recitals and resolution. And whereas the administration acting through the Ministry of Finance is desirous of renewing its overdraft facility at the St. Kitts Nevis and Anguilla National Bank Limited with a limit not exceeding $5 million East Caribbean dollars for the period 1st January to 31st December 2025. And whereas the bank has requested a resolution from the administration signifying the agreement of the administration to renew the facility. And whereas the facility will be secured by 86.5 acres of land situated at Pinny's Estate, St. Thomas Parish in the island of Nevis, registered in Book 5240-269 of the Register of Titles in the Nevis Circuit. And whereas the name and specimen signatures in the schedule listed are those of the persons authorized to sign on the facility, now therefore be it resolved that the Cabinet of Ministers of the Administration approves, adopts, ratifies, and reaffirms the renewal of the facility, and we are seeking the approval of the Nevis Island Assembly to this particular resolution. May I, while I'm on my feet, in the fourth recital, it should be the St. Thomas's Parish. It is the word James. That is a Scrivener error, and we would ask that that word James be removed. And so I move that this resolution be adopted by this Honorable House.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Just to note, in the fourth recital as well, the last line should read Register of Titles. There was a typo that omitted the T.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Member for Nevis 3.
Madam President, I rise to second the adoption of this resolution.
Thank you. The question is that resolution number 5 of 2024 of the Nevis Island Administration, as amended, be adopted. Those in favor? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it. I recognize the member for Nevis too.
Madam President, I rise on this occasion to move that the resolution number 6 of 2024 be adopted by this Honorable House. The resolution of the Nevis Island Administration, the administration acting through its cabinet ministers, the ministers. Whereas it is provided for by Part 8, Section 48 to 49 of the Finance Administration Act number 13 of 2007 and the Nevis Treasury Bills Ordinance number 5 of 1989, the Cabinet Ministers of the Nevis Island Administration, in its meeting on the 20th day of November 2024, passed, adopted, and consented to the following recitals and resolution. And whereas the administration acting through its Ministry of Finance is desirous of renewing the following Treasury bills. 1. 91-day Treasury bills issue over the counter with a limit of $140,700,000 East Caribbean dollars for the period 1st January to 31st December 2025. And 2, 365-day Treasury bills issue over the counter with a limit of $5,275,000 East Caribbean dollars for the period 1st January to 31st December 2025. And whereas the names and specimen signatures in the schedule listed are those of the persons authorized to sign on these Treasury bill facilities, now therefore be it resolved, the Cabinet of Ministers of the Administration approves, adopts, ratifies, and confirms the renewal of the facility approved by the Nevis Island Assembly this 6th, is it?
Yes.
6th day of November 2024. December, forgive me. On, well, it actually says November, so we'll have to correct that as well.
Yes.
Forgive me. On the previous one as well, I think, would have said November. So, I can correct that. Madam President, just again for the benefit of the House and the public, that this is not new borrowing. This is simply the usual belts and braces that we're required to do by law each year that we ask for the support. So this is already an existing facility. May it please you.
Thank you, member.
Madam President, I rise to second the approval of the resolution in this Honorable House.
Thank you, honourable member. On resolution number 6 of 2024, the very first recital, I've added an S to the first reference to section so that it reads sections 48 to 49, and the other amendment noted is to change November to December. The question is that the resolution number 6 of 2024 as amended be adopted. Those in favor? Those against? The ayes have it. I recognize the member for Nevis too.
Madam President, I rise in similar vein to move that the resolution number 7 of 2024 be adopted by this Honorable House. It's a resolution of the Nevis Island Administration, the administration acting through its cabinet ministers, the ministers. Whereas the Cabinet of Ministers of the Nevis Island Administration, the administration, in its meeting on the 20th day of November 2024, passed, adopted, and consented to the following recitals and resolution. And whereas the administration acting through its Ministry of Finance is desirous of renewing its overdraft facility at the CIBC First Caribbean International Bank, Barbados Limited, the bank, with a limit not exceeding $2 million Eastern Caribbean dollars, the facility, for the period 1st January to 31st December 2025. And whereas the bank has requested a resolution from the administration signifying the agreement of the administration to renew the facility, and whereas the names and specimen signatures in the schedule listed are those of the persons authorized to sign on the facility, now therefore be it resolved that the Cabinet of Ministers of the administration approves, adopts, ratifies, and confirms the renewal of the facility approved by the Nevis Island Assembly this 6th day of December 2024. Again, this is a renewal of an existing facility and does not represent any new borrowing by the administration.
Thank you. I recognize the member for Nevis 3.
Madam President, I rise to second the approval of resolution number 7.
Thank you. The question is that resolution number 7 of 2024 of the Nevis Island Administration, as amended, be adopted. Those in favor? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it. I recognize the member for Nevis 2.
Madam President, I rise to move a motion that resolution number 8 of 2024 be adopted by this Honorable House. The resolution of the Nevis Island Administration, the administration, acting through its cabinet ministers, the ministers. Whereas the Cabinet of Ministers of the Nevis Island Administration, the administration, in its meeting on the 20th day of November 2024, passed, adopted, and consented to the following recitals and resolution. And whereas the administration acting through its Ministry of Finance is desirous of renewing its overdraft facility at the Bank of Nevis Limited, the bank, with a limit not exceeding $40 million East Caribbean dollars, the facility, for the period 1st January to 31st December 2025. And whereas the bank has requested a resolution from the administration signifying the agreement of the administration to renew this facility, and whereas the facility will be secured by 150 acres of land situated New River Estate in the parish of St. James, in the island of Nevis, registered in Book 49, Folio 108 of the Register of Titles in the Nevis Circuit, and whereas the names and specimen signatures in the schedule listed are those of the persons authorized to sign on the facility, now therefore be it resolved that the Cabinet of Ministers of the administration approves, adopts, ratifies, and confirms the renewal of the facility approved by the Nevis Island Assembly this 6th day of December 2024. Again, belts and braces, no new borrowing, simply required by law that we renew the resolution annually in this Honorable House.
Thank you, Honourable Member. I recognize the member for Nevis 3.
Madam President, I rise to second the approval of resolution number 8.
Thank you. The question is that resolution number 8 of 2024 of the Nevis Island Administration be adopted. Those in favor? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it.
Adjournment.
I recognize the member for Nevis 3.
Madam President, I rise to move a motion for the adjournment of this Honorable House. And while I'm on my feet, on the adjournment, I would like to take this opportunity to once again thank all the persons in my ministry, all of my departments, for the hard work over the past year, 2024, and to trust that they will have a wonderful season. And I look forward to working with them diligently again in 2025. I hope they are up to the task. I want once again to say best wishes to those who are retiring from my ministry and from the departments which I oversee, and wish them every success in their retirement. I want as well, Madam President, to extend Christmas wishes, best wishes for the holiday season to you, Madam President, to the clerk, to the sergeant of arms, to the other officer, to my colleagues on this side, to the members opposite, and of course all who have been part of this assembly during the past couple of days, to those who have been covering, to those who have attended in the gallery. Best wishes for a wonderful and happy and holy holiday season. May the season be one of love and caring and sharing, as it ought to be. And may we try as much as possible on this beautiful island of Nevis to give and share more love, Madam President. I hope that 2025 will be a very productive and prosperous and happy and most of all healthy year for all of us Nevisians and residents and all who reside here on this beautiful island of Nevis. I hope that we will continue in this august body to conduct ourselves well. And while I'm on my feet as well, I just want to extend some condolences to the family of late Leonora Wenham, who was our latest, I think, centenarian from Bath Village, and as well to extend condolences to someone who would have passed from my constituency, someone who worked in the Department of Agriculture, who worked with me for a number of years from Hanley's Road, the late Georgina Lawrence. To her family and friends, heartfelt condolences. And once again, Madam President, best wishes to all on the island of Nevis, my constituents and all of us in Nevis. May we have a very happy and holy and warm holiday season. All the very best for 2025.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member. I recognize the nominated member, Minister of Health, et al.
Good morning. I rise to second the adjournment. And while I'm on my feet, of course, I'd like to take the opportunity to, first of all, wish everyone in this honorable house a very enjoyable, happy Christmas and New Year's celebration and season overall, as well as to the members of the general public. I want to remind everyone to remember, of course, the reason for the season, which is sharing, caring, giving thanks, rather than seeking gifts. While I'm on the topic of Christmas, I want to encourage everyone again to participate in all the Christmas activities that will be done throughout the communities, and that is being coordinated as well by community development. I want to be able to extend some gratitude as well to my core administrative staff at the ministry. I believe that while they're not recognized during the regular proceedings, they're the backbone that keeps me and the ministry going sometimes. So Ms. Shelley Liburd, Natasha Clark, Janella Burke, and of course Ms. Lee. They are the core administrative staff, and I really thank them for their support throughout the year. I also would have mentioned Miss Wenham, and I learned yesterday of her passing, and so I want to extend some condolences to friends, family, and the entire community. She was definitely, truly a vibrant spirit, and the entire Nevisian public mourns that loss. While I was giving thanks as well, Madam President, I did mention our retirees yesterday. However, I want to especially thank them again for their service and highlight the service of Ms. Sandra Maynard, who would have served for 31 years. So I want to extend that thank you and wish her well in her well-deserved retirement. I also want to acknowledge that we're in the period of the 16 days of activism, hence the color orange today. So I want to encourage everyone to bear that in mind. That runs from November 26th to December 10th, and it's just a period to be sensitized about gender-based violence. So I want us to keep that in mind, and if we see something in our communities, say something. If we're a victim, seek help and try to escape those situations. Madam President, I want to thank you for indulging me for this budget season. I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas as well and happy season. And I do wish all my colleagues the best for the season. Thank you.
Thank you. I recognize the member for Nevis 1.
Good morning, Madam President. I rise on the occasion of the adjournment. And I want to, first of all, express my sincere thanks and gratitude to our Creator for bringing us thus far. Madam President, I want to also express my thanks to my colleagues for the wonderful and robust working relationship that we have had in 2024. And of course, their support as well. I believe that as a team, we have worked well together, and I'm hoping that in 2025, and certainly beyond, we can continue to work together as a team. Madam President, as I said in my closing yesterday, I wanted to express my thanks, which I did to the various persons in the ministry. I also want to take this opportunity to express my heartfelt and most gracious and humble appreciation, Madam President, of the wonderful constituents of St. Paul's who continue to encourage me and continue to give me their support. I certainly want to wish them the very best for this Christmas season, and I hope that God will continue to look favorably on them, and of course, all the people of Nevis. I am privileged, Madam President, to serve in this honorable house, and our first duty, of course, is to serve the people of Nevis, which we are indeed committed to. Madam President, I also want to express my thanks to all those who would have retired from the ministry that I'm honored to lead at this time. I believe that their contribution and their participation over the years have certainly made Nevis a much better place. Madam President, I would have already expressed my condolences to Ms. Wenham, and just before she passed, we would have recognized her as one of our latest centenarians. I also want to take this opportunity to express my deep condolences to the family of Louis' nephew, Paris, who was laid to rest a few days ago. I regret that I was not able to attend the funeral. She worked at the Alexander Hospital, I believe, for many years, and certainly the family there in Stony Grove and in Hamilton certainly want to offer my deepest condolences. Madam President, I also want to use this rostrum to express my sincere thanks and gratitude to my dear wife. Last night I did say that I would be in the doghouse, but I think I'm making up for it this morning. So I want to say to her how thankful I am, Madam President, for being my #1 cheerleader, my #1 supporter, and certainly my rock. So I am indeed thankful for her and my entire family, how wonderful they have been in 2024. Madam President, I would also end by expressing my very best wishes to everyone in this honorable house, those on this side, those opposite, Clark, those who are bringing this broadcast, those who are recording it, and those in the diaspora. I believe that while they may not be physically present here on the island of Nevis, wherever they may be, whatever their situation may be, that we certainly want to wish them the very, very best for this Christmas, and good health and God's richest blessing in 2025. May it please you, Madam President.
Thank you very much. I recognize the member for Nevis 4.
Good morning, Madam President.
Good
and
morning.
to all present. I rise on the occasion of the adjournment briefly to bring sincere condolences to the Mills family in Barnaby, who would have lost Miss Yvette Mills just recently. It is a sad time, I think, because Miss Mills was certainly someone who was very much involved in the community, and so I know that there would be quite a bit of mourning. To the Mills family and to all others who are mourning the loss of loved ones, I extend my deepest condolences. I also would like to extend words of encouragement to Mr. Devon Woody. Many may be aware of him. He is the father of young Kevin Woody, who would have had that serious accident, and he is now hospitalized again. And so to Mr. Woody and many others I know are going through a difficult time right now, I would like to offer words of encouragement. And despite the difficult times and despite challenges that persons may have, I would like to wish one and all a very Merry Christmas. And I hope that during the Christmas season, we can have moments of joy, moments of happiness, and certainly I wish everyone good health. Health is not a laughing matter, and we can see how persons are leaving us suddenly, unexpectedly, and so I do wish that during the Christmas season and beyond, we can all enjoy good health. I also encourage, Madam President, that we can find hope for a brighter tomorrow during this season. I encourage the youth. We would have had many graduates just earlier this month, and I would like them to have hope that there will be a future that they can look forward to. I would like also to encourage our retired persons to have hope that they would get their packages, maybe for Christmas. And to all the hard-working people, I do hope that for Christmas, they may get a bonus, because times are hard, and we would want the Christmas season to be a time when persons can have a good time, put aside the politics, and enjoy some good family fun and happiness. I would also like to say at this time, Madam President, that to my family, the members of the various community groups who I know have been working very hard to try to make ends meet and to advance certain activities in their communities. I do wish them a very Merry Christmas, because oftentimes we seek the assistance of community groups, but we don't take the time to appreciate their contributions. And so I'm familiar with a number of community groups, and I would like to wish them a very Merry Christmas as well. Madam President, to you and your family, to the family of the Nevis Island Assembly, and all the hard-working people who have fared through the budget, I wish them all the best for the Christmas season, and just want to leave with a little saying that may be applicable. We know during the Christmas season there's a lot of baking and goodies, etc. And there's a saying that you can give someone a pound of flour, and all that they can think of to make is bread. And you can give someone else who has ideas and dare to imagine and stretch the boundaries, that same pound of flour, and they can give you pasta, they can give you cakes, they can give you tarts, they can give you cereals, and so much more. And that ability to give so much more comes from having a caring heart and wanting to provide the best for those who you know deserve the best. Thank you, Madam President, and I wish one and all the very best for Christmas and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I recognize the member for Nevis 2.
Madam President, I rise on the occasion of the adjournment of this sitting to join colleagues on this side and on the opposition benches in expressing a very Merry Christmas to all. I start with you, Madam President, and your family. I wish you all the very best. Our clerk, who's been here with us for a very long time, I wish her and her family the best. Sergeant at Arms, and the police officers who've been here, members of the press, NTV, and others who've been here. The honorable member opposite who is present, and also the honorable member opposite who is absent today. In fact, I would wish the House to extend our prayers to her. She did indicate that she had some medical issues that she had to attend to, and we are prayerful that all will be well. Madam President, let me express my condolences to the family of Ms. Wenham. We have heard we celebrated just last year, I think it was, or was it earlier this year? Her 100th birthday, and she appeared to be in fine fettle. Her mind was good. She was in incredible shape, and so I was very, very surprised and saddened to hear that she would have passed away. And so I want to extend to her family my very deepest condolences. I also want to join my colleague from Nevis 1 in extending condolences to the family of Miss Paris. Her daughter, Mavis Paris, is a very close friend of mine, and I want to extend condolences on her passing to all her children and extended family. I join with the member from number 4 in extending condolences to the Mills family in Barnaby. Yvette was somebody that I knew very well, very, very pleasant woman, always had a smile, a little joke, and really somebody who would have contributed significantly to the community in Barnaby and the wider St. James. And so I extend condolences to her family. I did try to reach via telephone. I have not yet been successful, but I will continue to try to reach out to her sister, who was, as we know, a candidate in the last election and someone that I know well. And so we express condolences to that family as well. I also want to record my best thoughts, best wishes for a speedy recovery to young Kevin Wood. These are individuals who I believe have struggled this past year in terms of accident that led to quite a difficult situation for this youngster. I know he was a student at the Charlestown Secondary School, and I certainly have also heard that he has been readmitted to hospital, and I share the thoughts of prayers and good wishes for his family, and that he would have a speedy recovery. While I'm on that note, let me also express my sincere thoughts and well wishes to Mrs. Esmeralda Dick from Bath Village. She too has been struggling with ill health, and I would want to extend my deepest thoughts and prayers that she's able to recover. And so to the Dick family there in Bath, I extend my warm thoughts, prayers, and best wishes to them. Madam President, I want to just take a moment to say to my brother, good minister for Nevis 1, that he too has endured tremendous loss this year. And I really think that he has stood up and has continued to serve the good people of St. Paul's and the people of Nevis, despite the weight of his loss. To have lost his mother and his granddaughter in this year must have been a terrible, terrible experience and ordeal for his family. And I want to just extend to my brother, the Honorable Spencer Brand, the member for number 1, my ongoing prayers and best wishes for him and his family, because we can't tell what they're going through. It is obviously, grief is a very personal matter, but I want him to know that he has our fullest support and that he and his family will continue to have our fullest support. If I can move away just briefly to use the opportunity to express a happy birthday, albeit belated, to Miss Eliza Jeffers. She turned 105 and is now the oldest person in the Federation. And she's right here in Nevis, and I want to wish her a happy birthday and to hope and pray, Madam President, she continues to have long life, and that those who have achieved that magic century, that they continue to inspire all of us to try to live peaceably with each other, to try to live good lives, and to try to be content, and do all that we can to delay the onset of illness. Madam President, I think we've had a good budget discussion. We have gone perhaps longer than we ordinarily would at this time, but I believe the time was well spent with each other here. And I started my budget presentation by saying that we ought to consider ourselves fortunate to have the ability to come to a place like this and to debate and discuss. And it may get heated at times, but it doesn't descend into violence or into chaos. At the end of the day, we express ourselves here. And I believe that all of us are committed to the idea of a better Nevis. We may not always agree, but I don't believe that it should make us disagreeable. And given that sentiment, I believe that this time of year, Christmas, is the appropriate time when we remember each other. We try as much as possible to unify around what is good about our island. We remember what Christmas really is about. That Christ came, but he didn't come to stay. He came so he could die, so that you and I could have a chance at redemption. So Christmas is really about giving. I think a lot of us confuse Christmas. Everybody wants something. Everybody has their hand out for Christmas. If you're going to put your hand out for Christmas, put it out with something in it for somebody else. It is really about giving. It's about an opportunity to share what you have and what God has blessed you with others who might not be as fortunate. And a culture that has developed here, gimme, 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 gimme. I think we need to move away from that and really embody the true spirit of Christmas. When you cook, the member for number 4 talk about baking and cake and all of that. We understand the traditions. Pass something over the fence to your neighbor who may not have the flour to bake. Help each other. You may not have money to buy a gift, but you may go and spend an hour with somebody who's lonely. You may go and spend some time with the elderly. And that, Madam President, may be a better gift than if you had all the money in the world to share with them. And I think our people need to come back to what I consider to be the quintessential essence of being Nevisian and the essence of Christmas. It is a period of giving, not of receiving. It's a period when we care for each other and look out for each other. And so with those few words here, ended the sermon, I would say, Madam President, Merry Christmas to you and to your family. Merry Christmas to my dear constituents from Pond Hill to Cox, to Ground Pasture, Church Ground, Brown Hill, Bath, Stony Grove, Braziers, wherever you are in the great parish of St. John's, Nevis too. I want to thank you for your support all these years and wish each and every one of you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I want to extend that greeting to all of Nevis, the people of St. Paul's, the people of St. Thomas's, the people of St. James, the people of St. George, Gingerland, where I was born, and to thank them all for embodying the spirit of Christmas and for ensuring that this Christmas, we take care of each other. We're kind, we're gentle, and we take care of each other. So I wish everyone a Merry Christmas, and since we won't be back before the New Year, let me take the opportunity to wish everyone as well a bright and prosperous 2025. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Before we vote on the adjournment, I would just wish to join in the sentiments expressed for support to those who are facing challenges at this time, and to express to the members of the House, as we bring a close to these past 3 days of budget debates, my gratitude to you all for your participation, your dedication, your insightful contributions, and commitment to the nation's welfare that has been evident throughout the debates. And I too am pleased to note that we have completed this significant exercise without any upheaval, which demonstrates the strength of our democratic traditions and the mutual respect that underpins our deliberations. We did have a robust debate, which is in itself a testament to our maturity, our professionalism, the professionalism of the Assembly, and I want to thank you all for your general cooperation and decorum. Also, as we approach the festive season, I extend on behalf of myself and my family, and to the public on behalf of the General Assembly here, warm wishes for a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. I too hope that this season would bring you joy, it would bring you peace, and a renewed hope for all the citizens of our nation. I want to highlight the assistance and contribution to the success of this sitting that we had as a result of the hard work and dedication from the clerk, as well as the junior clerk, from the director of IT, who has assisted us in a new AI form of recording of our debates to assist us in our Hansard reporting. I want to say thanks as well to our stenographer, who is still here and who has been with us throughout the proceedings, as well as to NTV and the media for the assistance in involving or bringing the general public into the House when we don't have enough space to hold everyone. I'm grateful to Pastor Otis Brown, who was here on day one and prayed that God would be with us in our deliberations. And of course to our sergeants at arms, as well as our corporals, who have been with us to ensure our security during the past few days. And perhaps security is on my mind, noting the events of sister parliaments in the region. So I'm just grateful to God for all that He's done for us and for bringing us to the end of the proceedings. I wish you all truly a very Merry Christmas and a prosperous 2025. Thank you very much. The question is that this Honourable House be adjourned, sine die. Those in favour? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it. House is adjourned.